Also, maybe I'll eventually set us up with the stream starting screen and those kind of fun things, because I sure as hell don't have any set up.
Well, all they need to see is us.
That was actually different sounding. Whoops. Things. Because do that for a reason. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot I always have to turn on my audio by itself on my phone, like every single part. Still annoying. Still miss iPhone.
Yeah, everybody misses iPhone on my behalf, so I'm good.
Well, it's Friday night. You know what that means. We're Top Rope Tokes, here to talk about AEW Rampage. I'm just saying, and I'm pissed off. That's rage emotions. We knew we had to wait.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Let's just jump right into that main event.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's get that off our chests right now. So first of all, our main event was Matt Taven and Wardlow. Matt Taven's debut match, losing to Wardlow, of course.
I will say, the Mark Henry, the whole main event promo, I felt like Mark Henry even hated that promo. Because when he came back on screen to say his lines, like, until he got loud, there was no emotion in that man's face. Pretty much how I felt.
He was just like, yeah, this is our main event, you guys.
Neither one of them can talk.
Yep. Yeah, they're both with other people for a reason.
Also, right about now is when I realized I hate Matt Taven's face. I feel like it is the generic creator wrestler face that we've had on WWE games for 20 years, given a stupid haircut.
Fair point.
He may be a nice guy. Just something about his face bugs me. The match. Oh, and to go with it, his attire was literally one color with what, I mean, besides the logo that was on his pants, just repeated kind of awkwardly throughout it. Like, not even like in a pattern type of way. So his gear was the most generic creative wrestler, like putting in a little bit of effort as well.
I don't know. He's interesting in the ring, at least.
Yeah. He actually helped him and Wardlow combined, created for a nice little spot. That whole counter to the power bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really nice, actually.
I mean, it just delayed the inevitable because ended right back into a power bomb.
Right. Like, the match was going to end with a power bomb. Just the question is always just how many.
Yeah, there was a lot of distractions and stuff like that involved, but Wardlow was going for the power bomb. Taven hit Northern Light suplex, but Wardlow bridged out of it, held his grip, and then rotated it over back into a power bomb position. Did he hit that power bomb and then Mike Bennett hopped up on the apron, or was it right before that one? Because even Bennett went to go help, and he was like, "Nope, fuck this, I'm out."
Um,
It happened somewhere in there.
Yeah, yeah, it was between the first and however many power bombs he did. It was between the first and second, though.
Yeah. So they said it was 4.
I think
I mean,
4. Okay, yeah.
as you said, you knew
Haven's
Wardlow
a
was
small
winning.
dude. That's impressive, but yeah, you obviously know Wardlow's gonna win this match. He's not about to lose to some dude that just debuted.
Yeah.
And, like, but the after the match.
I've never been so mad at AEW. Never.
This was, yeah, I've never been so not excited to see Powerhouse Hobbs.
So right after the match, then Bennett jumps in and he starts to attack Wardlow, right? Then Samoa Joe comes down to help.
Of course.
Makes all sense in the world.
Yeah, that's War Joe.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Stupid name.
Hey, no, fuck that. War Joe is great. We're pushing War Joe now. Okay. Because after Joe came out for the save, you think like, but there's still like a minute or two left in the show at least. Something else has to happen.
For once, I did not look at the time.
Yeah. So yeah, I looked at it. I was like, oh, something else is gonna happen because there's a couple minutes left, unless if they're gonna stand in the ring and be happy for 2 minutes, which didn't seem likely. So
Samoa Joe acting
Hobbs
happy.
came out. Yeah, he was happy until Powerhouse Hobbs came out all oiled up.
I was so excited for about 5 seconds. Like, yes, big beanie men
like,
slapping
Powerhouse
me.
Hobbs music hits, and I'm like, yeah, Powerhouse Hobbs, he's coming for that belt, son.
I mean, there's 2 belts in the ring. I didn't care which one.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's coming for a belt,
and it was gonna be big meaty men slapping meat either way.
Yeah, and I was real excited. And then the Prince Nana faction,
the Embassy.
Yeah, that's what they're called. the Prince Nana faction.
I didn't know.
It was all. It's all planned out, they were at the ready. Everyone's distracted because Powerhouse Hobbs is about to come out, and he's the only dude bigger than Wardlow around here. Well, that Brian Cage dude is bigger than Wardlow too. But but Powerhouse Hobbs is the only person that's bigger and interesting enough. So
that's why I liked it better when neither of us could remember the name. You're like the faction of nobodies. I liked it so much better.
Prince Nana. Yep. I'm never gonna forget that guy because he's so like early WWE, WCW. Like you hit the nail on the head, and I love it. Like, it doesn't fit at all, but I don't know. It's the nostalgia feeling to it. I just like it. But I don't like Powerhouse Hobbs teaming up with this faction. Hobbs, you don't need a faction, and not the lowest faction in all of AEW. Like the one that shows up once every month.
And no
one knows who any of them are.
And none of you are Chris Jericho, where you're taking like a team like Daddy Magic and Cool Hand, where they weren't doing squat and making them relevant. Sorry, none of you are have that in you yet. I went into a chat, and I hate that I said this. It was, as a joke, but at the same time, I said rip to Powerhouse Hobbs' career, because they just murdered it. It was such the wrong move.
Yeah, this was bad. Hobbs does not need this faction.
Like,
he's scary by himself.
Like, if for whatever reason your plan was to send him to Ring of Honor or let him be like a dominant force in Ring of Honor, okay. But then he should have held up the Ring of Honor title, and I still would have hated all of this. But at least it would have made a little bit more sense.
Yeah. I mean, with that faction being all Ring of Honor guys, there was no way that he was going to grab that Ring of Honor belt.
Because it sure as hell should not be Brian Cage carrying the load over there.
Hey, he
can carry lots of
Brian
things.
Cage.
He can carry lots of things, but not a company, not a world championship.
I don't know. But yep, so yeah, after they do big meaty men stomping, him and Brian Cage grab the belts. Powerhouse Hobbs grabs the TNT belt. Cage grabs that TVE belt.
So neither of us like doing this show.
Don't want Powerhouse Hobbs in this faction. This faction is where you're sending him to die.
This
career wise,
right?
Not in real life. Please stay alive. I mean, I don't know. But they're killing his career with this.
Neither of us really like doing the show, especially if we have to work on Saturdays because of how late it requires to stay up and do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, if I don't want to do this show, it's because I am so tired. No, tonight, it's because with that ending, I wanted to say fuck this and just be done with everything for the night.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, sorry, y'all. Top Rope Tokes, big Powerhouse Hobbs fans, and you just sent him to the dumpster. Like, when does his contract end? I know WWE will be sitting there waiting to scoop him up.
I just realized I never updated
he fits their bill, and he's a way better wrestler than all of their big dudes.
I forgot to ever update the result for tonight's matches on top of the thing. But it's a Rampage, so can knock that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, like, just to let you know what this has done to me. Today, this is not water. I switched it up today, everyone. Yeah. Couldn't do it.
Whoops. I messed that part up.
But on the bright side, Traverse City Cherry Bourbon. Delicious. Delicious. But this is not an advertisement for Traverse City Cherry Bourbon. If they would like to sponsor us, let us reach out, let us know. But I enjoy your bourbon. Tasty. Tasty-licious. Anyways, after that commercial break by Traverse City Cherry Bourbon,
you know what? I don't.
My good theory here. My good theory here is Hobbs takes the belt from Wardlow at Full Gear, and we've got a belt on Wardlow, so you can't make him irrelevant, even though this faction is not the place to put him.
You mean Hobbs?
Yeah. Did I not say Hobbs?
Well, no. At the end, you said if you have a belt on Wardlow, you can't make him irrelevant.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's pretty much what they did with Wardlow. They were like, all right, we'll put a belt on him, and then we don't have to figure out what else to do with him anymore. And it didn't work because nobody cares about anymore Wardlow. But Hobbs. Yeah. So this is what we're gonna do. That's the best case scenario for me right now. Put that belt on Hobbs. Because when he faces off with Wardlow, it's going to look real ridiculous if you try to make Wardlow overpower him.
It'll probably be the story of the matches. He can't match him for power until the very end when he gets him up for like 3 power bombs.
Yeah. But take the belt off of Wardlow. Very believable that Powerhouse Hobbs, if anyone can do it, is the guy that's going to do it. So,
but no, they have a very short time to try to make the embassy entertaining.
Yep.
Good fucking luck.
I got. Hey, but they got Prince Nana though.
Yeah, just get rid of everybody and just have Prince Nana go around with Hobbs reading the Book of Hobbs. Fuck the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Or at least Brian.
That's because the whole faction thing is like I could see Hobbs with a manager. I feel like he actually doesn't even need a manager. But I could see him with a manager. But in a faction, that's where you put guys that have no charisma.
Or like you start him off with a manager, and Nana would be great because of the fact that Hobbs is more of a serious character and Nana could bring the silly.
Yeah.
And then you maybe build and put a tag team with them down the road after they're already established.
Speaking of tag teams, my theory, this is how my theory is working. So we're taking the belt off of Wardlow at Full Gear, putting it on Powerhouse Hobbs.
I swear to God, if you say Wardlow for tag team titles. Son of a bitch! Why do you gotta try to take a bad night and make it worse?
They're pushing the Wardlow thing, and Powerhouse Hobbs is going to be a champion, okay? I called it right here, October 28th, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I said it long before Full Gear.
You can be right about him taking the title from Wardlow, but I swear to God, if Wardlow is tag team champions on my birthday, I am done.
What if, hear me out now.
They need to just fight.
What if they change the name?
I don't want Samoa Joe in a tag team.
Because I understand it. Joe's getting older. Singles matches may be a little, they're a lot more physically demanding for him. He's probably not going to be able to put on the dope ass matches that he used to put on back in the day anymore. But he can still do all that same stuff, just in smaller bunches. Put him in a tag team.
You know what? You want to put him with a tag
team?
Doesn't
have enough charisma by himself.
I mean, yeah,
tag team.
Yeah, put Wardlow in a tag team.
So I think it'll work.
You know what? When Wheeler Yuta says "fuck the BCC" because of Bryan Danielson, just go put Wheeler Yuta with Samoa Joe. Because Joe's style fits kind of with the BCC.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be all right. But we're gonna get Wardlow, hopefully name change, but Wardlow is here to stay.
I'm already angry.
If my theory works.
Why do you have to torture me?
Hey. You torture you.
All right, you know what? That gives me an idea, though. And as much as I will hate this, kind of did a piss poor job of announcing milestones and everything else so far. Or at least...
Oh, yeah.
And that gives me an idea. If you're here now, which I see a couple of you out there, or you're watching this later, go into any of our other videos, not the live stream, any of our other videos, drop the comment, Warjo. Make sure you drop a like while you're there. I can't believe I'm doing this myself.
Yeah, gotta do the like, though.
Do the like.
Drop that Warjo comment.
Comment Warjo, and we'll say... I'll keep announcing this in different videos and stuff like that. We'll say around Thanksgiving. Around Thanksgiving.
We'll give you a raging flu.
I'll find one of the comments that have it, and I'll go to you and be like, hey, here's our shirt. Would you like one for free? To celebrate that we have surpassed 100,000 views. And I told you something else got unlocked today. And you were really excited about it. So
Yeah,
something
top
for
rope
people to
Tokes
watch out
pants.
for. I could make that. I can make joggers too.
Oh,
But something you were pretty excited about, a feature that we have access to on YouTube now to keep an eye out on. What's that?
yeah. Keep it out. Keep an eye out. We'll be able to actually post text, like questions, polls, stuff like that. So look out. We'll be having kind of fun, interactive stuff going on occasionally. You know, stuff like, small example. I'm not gonna. We're out of. I doubt we use this because it's kind of cliche.
Do you like
Who's
the
your
name
favorite
Warjo?
wrestler? Yeah, I mean, but if we want to have a 100 to 0, let's let's do that poll.
I'll make that the first one.
Yeah,
But we figured good time to talk about it because this week you also saw us start to stream to YouTube, do our videos a little bit different, so lots of new things going on that we're excited about. But going back to being interactive, there's another thing you can do in our videos and on the page, number of places. There's a Discord link. We won't mind now and then having some people hop in and join us, because check this out, everything's going to look really, really ugly for a second because I haven't formatted it, because I haven't tested it, but I have something for 3 people. I have something for 4 people. Let's have some fun and talk wrestling.
yeah. You can join us. You can be a part of Top Rope Tokes.
We're not getting paid, so neither are you.
Yeah. One day we'll all get paid though. I'm gonna be balling out of control.
Talk about a couple things. I'm going to start off with one of your favorite things of the night. Do you know where I'm going with it? Because most of Rampage sucks, so I limited it down to like one thing, and it's not even a match.
So yeah, there's 2 things that it could be then.
The one that has nothing to do with anyone who wrestled on the match or on the card.
2 things that it's still 2 things then.
No, because the other one involves Swerve in the tag team title match, and Keith Lee did wrestle. I was going with Jade.
I mean, okay, because I was gonna say, because Swerve and Daddy Ass didn't wrestle. But yeah, we can go with Jade though. We can go with Jade. Let's do it.
You know, there's plenty of people out of the world that struggle doing a singular pull-up.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Hit of the night. Jade on that pull-up bar. She's doing some things to me, and I don't know what it is. Because she said some basic stuff, but watching her say it on a pull-up bar was completely different for me. So hot, so powerful, so charismatic. God damn it, Jade.
Like, so many people struggle to do pull-ups. She held herself up over the bar and continued to just cut a promo and didn't even sound like she was working out.
Yeah. Like, if you ever see me do a pull-up, applaud me, please. Like, you see Jade do a pull-up, like, oh, it's Monday.
And she's asleep still. Yeah, she just basically said, even though she doesn't have the title, everyone knows she's the undefeated champion still. Something along the lines of, she's gonna beat Nyla's ass and prove to everybody once again she's that bitch.
She is.
I just want to get you a shirt that says that bitch. And have Jade's face.
Rock the fuck out of that bad boy.
Get like an animated cartoon version of her face and then just have like that bitch with it.
Dog. Sign me up. How much money? I'll give all of it.
We'll have to see.
Jade, like a Jade that bitch shirt. Snap, son. Nah.
Now, unfortunately, a short little video package was the most entertaining thing for the women of the night because the match.
Oh yeah. Carmelo and Madison Rain. Ooh.
The stepmommy who got stuck versus.
Yeah, Madison Rain definitely looks like stepmom on Pornhub. Shout out Pornhub. But yeah, she definitely looks like stepmom, and Carmelo looks a lot like stepsister.
Second live stream, and we're already well on our way to getting canceled.
Yeah, I know. But in all seriousness, though, this match better than I expected, actually, because I apparently had seen Carmelo wrestle, but didn't remember it, which I thought meant that this was gonna look like garbage, and it didn't. She was solid, but she did also have Madison Rain in there to make everything she did look really good.
Yeah, actual respect is there for Madison Rain. Just yeah.
You just look like stepmom. That's all.
I think the last time that I have a memorable moment of Ty in the ring was like 6 years ago, or however many years ago, when she was trying to really first start breaking into NXT, and she was like barely making it, having a scratch and claw to prove herself, and I didn't mind her personality. Better in the ring now, but I can't stand her personality, and Madison Rain's done nothing to create interest in herself in AEW, and I haven't watched her wrestle since I actually used to watch TNA 15 years ago or whatever it was. 10, 15 years. It's funny that we call her stepmom, and I most know her for her time in TNA.
Yeah, I was out of the loop at that time. I would occasionally tune in here and there, like for big stuff. Like that was WWE, but I remember I watched the WrestleMania with that Undertaker Shawn Michaels match that was incredible with you and Brandon.
Wait, I watched that?
I thought you were there.
I might have.
I thought it was
been.
me, you, and Brandon watching WrestleMania. This was probably this was more than 10 years ago, though.
See, I never really was watching it much at that time, but I was kind of in the same boat. Like, if I did, I don't know when it was or when I really started watching NXT, but like NXT was the first show that I actually watched again on a regular basis. But
and it was because of Ty Mello.
I would jump in on some of the big things like WrestleMania sometimes because it was just so accessible once you had the WWE Network. Now that's gone. It's just Peacock.
Peacock. Damn.
So
WWE Network. That shit almost got me to start watching wrestling again just because WWE Network wasn't expensive.
Yeah, I eventually got it because I can't remember what the original price was or if that's what it always was. But two things. We're going to hit an Ethan Page promo.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Because there's a piece of news that it relates to that was announced earlier in the night during the opening match and figured kind of wrap with the opening match. But at one point we had Lexi with Ethan backstage. Everyone's kind of wanted to know why they end up attacking MJF. He said there was a change of plans, but the firm didn't change the plans. MJF changed plans. He said he's going to do things on his own, but he didn't get the number one contendership on his own. So they changed plans on him, and they actually helped Mox by making sure MJF wasn't going to be 100% going into the show. But this is the news coming out of this. Not out of this, but they announced it earlier. But Ethan Page says he's going to be in the World Title Eliminator Tournament. And so he's also going to be at Full Gear, because I'm assuming that's when it culminates.
Okay. The World Title Eliminator Tournament.
Yeah, because they announced it in the opening match, in Mox's match. But
yeah. Oh, yeah. They did say, like, they got to get better doing these things, though.
Yeah. So I'm guessing from Page, what he said, I'm assuming the tournament wraps up at Full Gear, and the winner's getting a title shot at Winter is Coming. And then he'll do what MJF isn't going to do, which is beat Jon Moxley.
Well, he's not going to beat Jon Moxley.
Moxley probably won't even be the champion.
Yeah, I'm going to say Jon Moxley will not be the champion. Because if Jon Moxley beats MJF, I'm going to riot. I'm going to, like, what did you waste a month of my time on all this MJF stuff for if he wasn't going to win the belt?
The only reason I have any doubts,
yeah, guarantee.
The only reason I have any doubts is because of things that they've done in the past, which is have who they think is going to win lose at the pay-per-view, because they're going to have like a hometown rematch in like the next big in-between event, like a Winter is Coming kind of thing, like the next big Dynamite. And then so the only thing that would give me any cause to pause is by the time we get to Full Gear, do they have a Long Island show announced? Because if MJF is going home, he's either already he literally would have had to win the title on the pay-per-view before, or he's winning it at home.
Yeah, I mean, they were just up in New York, though.
Yeah, they're still in New Jersey.
Yeah,
at Full Gear.
Yeah, there's still New Jersey. So yeah, I feel like they're gonna go somewhere else.
I hope so. They need to come back to the Midwest, more specifically right around here.
They should come back to Detroit again.
Man, imagine if I got to go to my first football game a couple weeks later, Christmas, yay, woo, whatever. There's no kids in the family, it's not the same. And then like just weeks later, like in January, we have AEW. I'm like, that'd be a fun month.
Give it.
In the actual Mox versus Daddy Magic opener, they talked about the tournament, and Dante Martin was the first name revealed to be a part of it.
So he's going to be losing the first round.
We'll see who he faces, because if who he faces also is someone we don't have really much faith in, they might let him get past the first round.
Just to shock you.
Yeah, like
hey, we didn't just throw him in here to put on one good match. We put him in here to put on two good matches.
Plus a win over someone that could be a world champion type contender, but you know they're not going that route. I mean, they'd be like, hey, here's a time that we can kind of, pop Dante a little bit.
Smart, but AEW doesn't really do that. They tend, it seems to me like they tend to protect their top guys.
The last time I can remember it happening to probably this level would probably be Private Party beating the Young Bucks in the first round of a tag team tournament for the first titles.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, how long ago was that?
So
AEW protects their top people. They lose rarely, even even in situations that don't really matter. They rarely lose.
So they crowned the first champion on the very first Dynamite. They started either the tournament that night as well or shortly thereafter. Tag team title was a big deal, so that was very quick to develop. But Yeah, the match itself, simple. Cool Hand Ange gets involved a lot. It's the only reason the match isn't over in like 4 minutes, but Mox still wins. Rear naked choke.
Yeah, he gets Daddy Magic in the rear naked choke.
He just wanted to rub them
we're
nipples.
Still talking about wrestling.
Then his ears like, are your nipples hard now, Daddy Magic?
If he did, that would be hilarious. And then I'd be a Jon Moxley fan, finally.
Be funny.
That would be all I need.
But he was celebrating. His music's going. But quickly interrupted by Stokely. And Lee Moriarty is with him. That's the only one with him, which until you knew where this was going, it kind of felt like, are they going to attack him from behind again? But once they started talking, it became...
feel like it.
Anytime there's only one or two people of a very big faction that walk out on the stage, my brain is going, okay, the other ones are going to be at ringside, aren't they? But once they started talking, there's a very different point to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of picked this one out right away. Because I was like, all right, it's Stokely and the one member of the firm that's gotten the least amount of shine. Clearly, that means he's about to get him a title shot right here.
Was it a title match, or were they just fighting?
It's a non-title. It might be non-title that they didn't. I don't think they. I don't know if they specified.
Because neither would surprise me on a regular basis, but considering you just had an AEW like eliminator matchup for one.
No, so I think that makes I think it is a title shot because what Mox said after that makes it seem like a title shot. Like he's like, "Oh yeah, you do deserve a shot. You're really good, doing the typical babyface thing, but you're not ready for me because I'm Jon Moxley. I stick my chest out when I walk."
Yeah, he basically was like, yeah, we know how good you are. We wanted you for the BCC, but here you are hanging out with the wrong people.
Yeah.
If you wanted to fight, all you had to do was ask. Then they threw up a graphic for the World Title Eliminator Tournament for like a few seconds and still really didn't explain it worth a lick.
Yeah, because I still don't get it. I'm going to have to find out more information later.
I mean, nothing will ever be worse than them rushing off the air, announcing, like, reading off a giant paragraph like 4 times in 2 minutes. Like, cool. And by giant paragraph, I just mean the lower left corner graphics card. So it's not even like you got to read a whole screen, because nobody else could read it unless you had a 75-inch TV.
Yeah, I couldn't really. I didn't catch it all or anything.
But you would have had to completely take your time away from watching the match because it was also going on right at the end of the main event. Like, this is just stupid. See, I have no problem saying AEW can be stupid. It's just they've never pissed me off as much as they did by trying to ruin Hobbs' career tonight.
Yeah, see what you did to us, AEW?
I literally just popped over a man who goes by Daddy Magic and his hard nipples. I'm not hard to please. I am entertained by a lot. And you just had to kill it.
There's one thing that didn't kill my boner today.
I know. And it's the one thing left to talk about in the show. I'm just taking a nice little breath because it's like,
than Jade, this didn't kill my boner.
This is the one thing left that I can like woosah, breathe in, breathe out, go out on a high note, and actually act like we enjoyed this episode of Rampage. Which is actually really funny because the match was Keith Lee versus Serpentico. And before the match even started, once I saw who his opponent was, I wrote, "He's gonna die."
So, I really need to start keeping a tally of the fastest AEW matches I've seen.
Did he hit a single move before the end? Or was it just one move?
It was just the power slam thingy. Or not the power slam, but what is that?
So he did like a last ride style power bomb but a sit out version.
Yeah.
He used to call it the spirit bomb, but I haven't heard them use that term here.
Yeah, they never say what it is here.
They said they just called it like a big time power bomb or something.
Yeah.
Nothing, no special name or anything to it.
Basically.
I don't know if they've ever referred to anything he's finished a match with as like a specific name.
Mm-mm.
Except I have heard them do the powerbomb swerve stop combination tag team match.
Yeah.
I swear
they named that
the same thing as their team name, right?
Yeah.
It's called They Hit the Swerve in Our Glory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not crazy. But that's the only time. His fireman carry power slam, I don't think I've heard a name for. I'm pretty sure I've seen him win with this power bomb before too. Haven't heard a name for it.
He just hits that massive power bomb, dog. It's a massive sit down power bomb. That's all it is, man.
And
but it's Keith Lee doing it, and it's with Serpentico, who is, you know what? Serpentico, you deserve some claps.
You get destroyed like a champion
because you come out here week in and week out and get destroyed. Champ?
Do you remember at Blood and Guts? He got chokeslammed by Luchasaurus on the outside of the ring, and we could hear the thud.
Yep. Yeah, Serpentico. But yeah, he took this power bomb like a motherfucker because it looked like it would have knocked me the fuck out.
So a good sit out power bomb always looks good. Like we talked about the one from GCW in the opener, and I love that power bomb. But Keith Lee's size, as you put it, and then Serpentico being a lot smaller. But he also did the extra oomph with the whole arm extension last ride style power bomb with it, and you combine all of it, and it is just glorious.
Yeah. Unintended.
After Tony Schiavone gets into the ring, I almost called him Tony Storm. Congratulates them on winning the #1 contendership, even though Swerve's not there.
Storm on the brain.
It's because I'm angry, and that's just another thing that angers me in AEW. But before Keith Lee can ever say a word, the Acclaim's music hits. The Acclaim gets booed because Bowen says there's no rap tonight.
Yeah. Bowen's serious. He wants to know what happened to Daddy Ass.
Basically went MIA during the day, and he knows that Swerve isn't out there either. They want answers. And Keith Lee's just like, I'm not Swerve.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, you came to me to ask about another man? Okay.
Tony Schiavone said that it was a family emergency. And Acclaim's just there like, what? We are his family. We're his only family. And I'm just sitting there waiting for like the gun clubs to somehow get involved.
I was so hoping the Ass Boys were coming out. Or at least like showing them in the back like.
And it would have made sense because why did Swerve in Our Glory won? They had help from the gun club. So it would have been entirely random. It would have been related in some kind of way.
Yeah.
But then we get the one other thing that made you really, really happy tonight.
Yeah.
So
This was
have at it. And I'm
the best
preparing a
segment of the
graphic.
night. I was like, that's why I used mine on Jade. Because I had nothing else besides this and Jade.
I mean, there's
So,
Keeley's powerbomb, but
yeah, there was that, but it was, I never count anything from a squash match.
yeah.
Just I can't bring myself to count it. But so all this is going on, they're questioning Lee about Swerve. Where is he? Where's Daddy Ass? Like, they're both not here. This seems like something up Swerve's sneaky MO. And then a video starts in the back.
Mark Sterling can come back.
Darkness. Mark Sterling can come back. Yeah. Getting Swerve kicked out of AEW because he's crazy. Yeah, so the video starts. He's like in a random locker room, and it's really dark in there. It's got like a horror movie aesthetic going on. He's talking about how, hey, I'm not just a mogul. I'm also a horror film director. And he just goes complete horror film villain. Like, immediately, he's like, yeah, you see what I'm gonna do. And then you see Daddy Ass tied up in a chair. Like, there's a little spotlight on him, but it's still dark as heck around him. So Swerve is just creeping around in the shadows and just laughing maniacally. This guy has all of it. Like I told you, like if he can be their big heel and MJF can be their baby face. Because this was incredible. But he ends it by saying, what I can't remember exactly what he said.
He said he wasn't going to be there at the tag team title match because he's going to be in the hospital.
Yeah, Daddy Ass cost them, like, the Acclaimed won because of Daddy Ass, and he won't be there this time to help them. And he pulls out some pliers and he takes them to Daddy Ass's scissoring hand. And Daddy Ass sells this really well too. Gotta give him some props there too, because he sold that really well. And he's like, fucking Swerve! Ah!
Yeah.
Like, we don't know exactly what happened there. Like, if he just, like, but he made it seem like he just, like, smashed his whole finger up or something. I don't know what he did with them pliers, but everything about this segment was believable because of the acting from those two.
I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I just imagine that he probably wrapped the pliers around one of his, two fingers, right around the knuckle, like the fattest knuckle, and then just
right
quick twist.
Right around the scissor area.
That quick, hard twist completely fuck up his finger.
Yeah, now he'll be like, oh, I can't scissor.
Just a giant middle finger. That'll be the whole thing, is it'll just always be a giant middle finger.
Yeah, and then the Acclaimed will win, or they'll lose because they won't be able to scissor Daddy Ass to power up. Because I think they need it to power up. That's why they won. Like, he puts like a little bit of whatever steroids he uses in between his fingers, and then when they scissor, it gives them the power up.
It's my special concoction. It's the cocaine we did in the Attitude Era and steroids. So let's get going.
Oh, man. All jokes.
I mean, he was a part of DX, and all of them were big old partiers. Besides, Triple H was like straight and narrow kind of guy.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they made jokes plenty about it, saying like, "Hey, at least it gave him like a DD and stuff."
Yeah, that's that's one cool thing about having the straight edge friend
Like,
that still likes to hang out.
I don't know if he's like straight edge, just like straight and narrow. Like he was responsible,
He's
none of the
just
hard drugs,
he's just
maybe some drinking here and there.
he's just not making the same poor decisions that everyone else is.
He wants to live past the age of 60.
Yeah, which is unfortunately tough for wrestlers.
Especially like it seems like we're coming into a different time where it's a lot better. There's a lot more focus on health and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ones that we were introduced to as kids,
Yeah.
a lot of them are fucked or dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a lot of them are like barely moving or dead, and it's rough to see and hear.
Actually, I not to bring the mood down. I knew you had been out of wrestling for a long time. And I think one of the first times in a long time that I could reach out to you and, just try to drop anything wrestling related at you was Scott Hall's passing.
Oh, yeah. Because I used to say hello to the bad guy all the time. Like, he was the reason why I loved the NWO. Like, Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, don't give a shit. I mean, I like Kevin Nash. Never was a Hogan fan.
Right.
Just never got the appeal to him.
I've never been a big fan
even before I knew that he was racist.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of the generic baby face. Like the whole like super over Captain America style baby face. Never been my thing.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, because I'm a black man. Come on now. Like, the whole I'm an American gimmick, it's not gonna work for me. It doesn't work for black people.
So
I'm not trying to speak for all black people, but for the majority of us, that shit don't work for us.
So I like Scott Hall like all around a lot better. But yeah, I was all about Kevin Nash because of Detroit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that was the main reason why I like Kevin Nash, is when I found out he's from Detroit. I'm like, and he's from like Detroit, not like the surrounding area. Like, oh yeah, that's what's up.
The ones that really bug me are once you get like if you were further than where I grew, if you were further than where you and I grew up, you definitely had no right of saying it.
Yeah. Like, once you get, basically, if you get past Southern Wayne County, you gotta stop. You can't call that the Detroit area anymore. You're in the Ann Arbor area or whatever is the other closest city.
Because I feel like, and actually you hit the point. I think because of where we grew up was almost like that middle, like right in between Ann Arbor and Detroit. Because we're right in that middle, it was like, no, like if you go any more this way, claim Ann Arbor.
Yep. Like, I would say, because I can get to Ann Arbor quicker than I can get to Detroit, that I'm in the Ann Arbor area.
That's why
right now,
like where we were at, like growing up, it's a little bit more east.
I can get to Ann Arbor like 2 minutes faster than I can get to Detroit.
And it's crazy because even as a kid, when I wasn't making those drives or anything, I knew that we were right on the middle. So even then, it drove me crazy. I was like, no. Because we kind of touched on a couple of them. I just want to kind of throw something out here, be a little bit different, maybe squeeze out, just in case we need one more video. So I have a question for you. More so, a series of questions.
More so, a series of answers for you.
The first one's going to be obvious. Who's the next AEW?
Be an obvious answer.
Who's going to be the next AEW World Champion?
MJF.
No debate. Move on. Next TNT champion.
My heart says Powerhouse Hobbs. I kind of feel like it could go either way though, because he's believable. Like, it's believable that he'd take the belt off of Wardlow, but it's also believable that AEW would do something stupid and just use him as an enhancement talent for Wardlow.
See, I'm right there with you, because remember, as we've been kind of future fantasy booking this for a while, I said Hobbs to beat Wardlow and then have Ricky come back.
Yeah, have Ricky come back and take it off of Hobbs.
Yeah, and that way you get to, elevate, put a championship on both of them, because we said, like, that feud, if that could have happened a little bit down the line with one of them already the TNT champion, it would have been a better spot.
Yeah.
So I want to stick with it. And then they put Hobbs with the fucking embassy.
Yep. So my my only option to not murder Hobbs' career is give him that belt at Full Gear. And then, as much as I hate the name Warjo, you got to push Warjo. You got to do something with Wardlow, but you can't do that to Hobbs.
Because I have so little confidence in it now. I'm going to go a completely different direction, but kind of similar. It's going to be Morrissey from the Firm. Because that allows you to let Wardlow hold on to it for a while longer as you kind of build up to that one. And you're still getting someone who's massive going against Wardlow.
Wardlow beat him
a while ago.
Yeah.
In the feud with MJF. So earlier this year.
Yeah.
But he also wasn't even under contract with the company at the time. He was with Impact Wrestling, mostly.
Okay.
And I feel like the Firm needs to get a championship on them sooner rather than later. But also, I think to the next title, next All-Atlantic champion.
Next All-Atlantic champion. I honestly think this is going to be Ethan Page.
I was thinking it, and that's how I felt, and I still want to answer that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like it's been a minute since he's even mentioned it or anything.
That is true. Yeah, he hasn't talked about it. Orange Cassidy is kind of just doing stuff right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's time for as we're going to get close to Full Gear, you're going to have to start setting up whatever his feud's going to be.
Unless that somehow has something to do with Ethan Page's early match in the tournament. Trios champions.
Trios champions. Easy answer, but I think it's going to go back on the Elite. And their title reign that was expected is going to happen.
That's honestly
in some fashion.
It's the only thing I can see happening right now.
Yeah.
So I'm down with that one.
Like, it wouldn't be believable to me to take the belts off of Death Triangle and put them on any other trio. Unless if it was like a BCC top trio of like Mox and Danielson and whichever other one, but you would not do that.
And I feel like anything else that's going to take, I don't think you have any pre-made trios that are really ready to go that you could really throw in that way. It'd be different if Jericho wasn't already the Ring of Honor champion, because you could just see him be like, oh, I'm going to team up with these two guys from the JAS. And then it's Chris Jericho. So you're like, okay, fuck it. He's winning.
Yeah. No. Yeah, no, it's not.
He's already
going to do that.
It would take way too long. It's going to be the Elite before then.
You know what? I agree. You know what? I'm not serious, but Dalton Castle and the boys. Fuck yeah.
All right. So you can go from your joke to try to make me mad one more time. Next AEW Tag Team Champions.
Next AEW Tag Team Champions. Ooh.
You may end up saying someone I agree with. I was like, all right, don't say, like, you know what word I do not want to hear.
Yeah.
My answer is still the Gun Club.
The Gun Club.
And now they are involved.
Yeah. But they want FTR, though.
Oh, I didn't say it was going to be soon. After they are done with FTR, they can go for the Acclaimed. And that way the Acclaimed could have like a 4-month, 5-month title range.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good long-term story. Because, yeah, they're going to win against Swerve in Our Glory. Because I think that would be their only chance to lose the belt, but it's going to help that splinter between those two.
Which I think we actually kind of skipped that Keith Lee looked freaking appalled at what Swerve did.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
he definitely does not approve.
So another reason that, don't see them winning the titles back.
Yeah, they're not going to win the titles back. And they would be, like I said, even with all of that happening, I still think they would be the closest to taking the belts off of the Acclaimed anytime soon. So you might be right with the Gun Club sometime down the road.
So unless they want to play a little bit of hot potato, I could see them having Swerve in Our Glory win, but then turn around and almost within like a month losing to FTR in like a rematch, considering how they lost. To let FTR finally have all the title belts. Then they have their friction. Then the Gun Club comes back around. They can win it from FTR. But that feels like a much bigger stretch. If FTR gets the titles and then they lose them, they're going to lose them to a more ready, polished team.
So yeah, probably Gun Club, because there's no other tag teams that are being pushed at all right now.
Private Party's off in their own story.
Yeah. So yeah, they're not coming around anytime soon.
House of Black is currently away. And I am currently slipping on trying to name any other team that isn't one that pisses me off. I mean, I guess the Gates of Agony can get there again, but we already know how we feel about them too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I say Warjo. Warjo's getting a push. But yeah, they're not going to be the next ones to get the tag belts, though. I think whoever wins the belts next will lose them to Warjo.
Then AEW TBS champion.
Oh. That's probably the hardest one.
I think
because
probably the easiest answer is probably your favorite answer. even though he's
Willow,
lost a
yeah.
lot.
So she's lost to Jade a whole lot. She even during that promo they cut, she was just like, "Look, you beat me already a few times, but you're not gonna keep winning forever. So I guess it'll be me one day. I hope." I was like, "That's what's up, Willow." And she's just like, maybe I can do it. I can beat you one day if we keep trying." Like, so yeah, baby, if she keeps trying, she could do it. But
I mean, part of it does play to a story of like she's new, she's figuring it out, building that confidence,
yeah,
and you can continue with that story. I mean, and give Jade like another
yeah,
4 to 6
'cause-
months or so.
yeah. You know what? Willow Nightingale, TBS champion.
I mean, I don't know if Athena's hurt, and then there's so many other people that just no reaction. You know what? Rio got a big reaction. And you can play the ultimate David versus Goliath match against in that one.
It's just so not believable.
And that's how I feel about every match Riho has. And yet here she is.
I mean, yeah, but against Jade, like that Jade's biceps are like thicker than Riho's entire body.
And then,
Like,
you know, I left this last championship last for a reason, because I know we are going to disagree.
you disagree. The women's championship.
Yep. Jamie Hayter.
No. I so
Wait, how do I
would
mute
say
you
she could
before we
go-
get to that?
Jamie Hayter, I could see her going for TBS before like straight up just going straight for the women's world title. She does have she has the heat behind her right now, and people would love to see it.
Well, there's
but-
been no heat on the championship for about 6 months now.
Exactly.
So put it on somebody who gets a reaction.
Because of the way AEW operates, what's going to happen is Toni Storm is going to keep that belt until she faces Thunder Rosa.
When was that match originally? Was that supposed to be at Forbidden Door? No.
I think they did. So Thunder Rosa actually beat Toni Storm at Forbidden Door.
So was this supposed to be all out when we? And that's what changed to
this
the
was going to be
four-way?
all out, yeah, and that's where the 4-way was. Yep,
Okay, so Toni Storm was supposed to win it.
she was supposed to
2
win
months
at
ago.
all out, and she still won. at
Yeah, no,
All Out.
two and a half
Or
months
well-
is a good enough title reign. Get it off of her. Treat it like it was the original plan.
Yeah, nope, not until Thunder Rosa comes back.
And part of the reason,
He's speaking with his heart. I speak with my brain.
well, I think this Jamie's Hayter story has been building for a long, long time, because as soon as you saw cracks between her and Britt, the only thing that would make sense to have them break up over was going to be the World Championship, which we saw in that Fatal 4-Way start to cause cracks. When they split, it will be because of the championship. And right now, Jamie's the one who's in position to do it. She's possibly even hotter than Britt Baker right now.
Yeah, but
Not as good of a promo.
if they're going to, yeah, and if they're about to, like, obviously her and Toni Storm are Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm is coming up soon. I don't know if that's going to be what Full Gear will be because of how hot Jamie Hayter is right now. That should be the match for Full Gear because that's not going to, there's no other match you can put on that's going to get a better reaction. But I think that'll be too soon.
Jamie Hayter's going to be the champion.
A shot like, even if they gave Jamie Hayter a shot like 2 months from now, I would say yeah. But just because she is undeniably the hottest women's wrestler right now in AEW.
You say 2 months from now. I say she should have took it 2 months ago in that Fatal 4-Way. Yeah. Yeah.
AEW likes to wait for stuff. Okay. Like Ricky Starks should have done what he did 2 months ago, like a year ago. Maybe 2. Like AEW likes to wait for stuff.
They had to build up Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah.
That was build that faction up and then get it splintered off. And, Ricky was always the star power of that faction. So you had to kind of wait long enough to make it worth imploding.
Powerhouse.
God damn,
and Prince Nana.
I just realized that we are at the end of the show and we're back right where we began.
Yeah. So if anyone's still out there, if you can't tell, we love Powerhouse Hobbs. And we're scared.
I'm not scared yet. I'm still pissed off. Scared will come after.
He's pissed. I'm scared. I've reached scared already. I'm no longer pissed anymore. I'm scared.
I'll probably go on a Twitter rampage or something while I'm editing video, and then I'll be scared when I go to bed. Like, hold my pillow close and be like, "Why'd you have to do that to me?" Powerhouse Hobbs, I miss your career already.
Look, Top Hat. You gotta check out. Look, I know that you think you're too cool to watch wrestling, but you should definitely check it out. You know what? Just check out some videos of Powerhouse Hobbs. The dude is a monster, and he can wrestle. Like he's a rare talent, and I love it.
He can hit a frog splash from further away than Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. Dude can do one hell of a frog splash. He's got the charisma.
And he's all about literature.
Don't ruin him.
It's all about that literature with that Book of Hobbs. That intellect.
The Book of Hobbs. The next page in the Book of Hobbs. We can talk about that, Top Hat. Yeah, we'll help you out with that.
I mean, there's been crackdowns where it's a little bit. You might have to battle a couple of times in the 2-hour show, but we can get you an answer.
We can help you out.
Right. But in the meantime, it is already a midnight. I got editing to do and a stupid job to go to in the morning. And then we got that big game tomorrow night that hopefully I am able to enjoy.
Yeah. Go Rockets.
Team Rocket, sure.
The Houston Rockets, I think. Nah. It's gonna be a rough one. Usually, so it's like it's either gonna go 1-2 ways. State's going to, like, out of pure heart, they're going to put up a fight in the first half and then get smashed from there. Or it's going to be just a straight up blowout.
Yeah. I remember how somehow I had a lot of hope. Like, I was like, it's not over yet. Right before that pump block win some years back. Somehow I was incredibly calm before that happened. So, like, I'm relatively an optimistic person somehow when it comes to that team historically. No, the game's already over. They lost.
Yeah. I was looking at that. The line is like plus 20 for Michigan. I was like, oh, like, yeah, that is rough. Michigan State is expected to lose by at least 3 touchdowns. Damn.
My level of certainty into the world. Wolverines are going to be Spartans, and I hate it. Jamie Hayter is going to be the next AEW Women's World Champion. Confidence level. See, Jamie is rising up this way. Hobbs' career being ruined.
Just down there all the way. Dude. It'll be so slow. I can't wait. Mark's going to be like, you see that guy out there? That's good.
But
yeah, that's good.
12:30. And after well over an hour. Hope everybody gets to enjoy their weekend. Any last words? Please pray for Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, do that, and stick to your roots. Always wear a Jimmy hat.
All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Unless you fat.